金谷人魚と申します。どうぞよろしくお願いします。Hello. Hi. How are we? Post offkai. Y'all, it's been a long month. It's been a long time, y'all. And like, honestly, it's just all gas, no brakes. Woo. Hi. I'm back. Offkai was cool. Um, a little bit more hectic than I was expecting, but I think that's because Offkai was bigger this year than last year. Um, and I got to do a lot more than I thought I was going to get into. So that was immensely unexpected but exciting in its own way. Rex, hi. Hello, small golden fish. Damn, you sound weird. What do you mean I sound weird? What? Are you sick? No. Do I sound sick? My reverb's not on. Granted, like, because it's been all gas and no brakes, my throat has been perpetually been not bad, but not good either. I'm probably just tired, honestly. I'm just tired. That's what it is. I'm not sick, but am I on the brink? You sound like you came back from an ordeal. That's wild. I don't even actually like actually that's a lie. I was gonna say I was like, I don't mentally feel that bad, but I'm like, actually, no, it's been all gas, no breaks. Aha. Aha. Yeah, I don't know. It's not that I don't know, I do know. It's that I am doing far too much. So if y'all are like actually like hearing that, then it's real. For some reason I hear you like low pitch. Low pitch. Is the volume low? Is the audio low? Now I'm just like, wait, what do I sound like right now? Do I sound bad? No, like the audio is good, but the sounds good to me, but it's just low pitch. It's just your voice, Lamau. Don't worry about it. Maybe I'm tripping. Nah, don't be tripping. I'm gonna be tripping. You're talking tired. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I wasn't joking when I said it's like it's been all gas and no brakes. But like in a good way, because Offkai was very exciting for me because I was able to get to meet a lot of folks that I didn't really have like plans to try to meet, but I just had the opportunity to meet. Some folks I really can't say. I wish I could, but I can't because technically I'm working with them on stuff that could be happening soon. So stay tuned. Um, and I do need to watch my step because if I'm not careful, I could trip, and then this whole shenanigan just goes to shit, and then I'll be basically sick during my 2-year anniversary. Like I was basically sick last year. It's summer. It's busy. I keep trying to tell myself to slow down, and I really, really don't do that. Um, I was even like debating. I'm like, do I want to stream today? And I was like, yes, but maybe not. But then I was like, sure, why not? It's just chatting. But I'm like, it took a lot of brain power. But I was also thinking, I'm like, when else am I gonna talk about Offkai? I'm like, I'm not doing it any other time. So I should talk about it now. Also, don't mind me. I'm rendering this audio that we were literally listening to moments ago. I'm gonna get water really quickly. And then we can talk about FKAI. If I keep staying hydrated, I can't actually be sick, right? Right? Anyways, as I was saying about FKAI, technically FKAI really like initiated all the way back for me and like like I want to say 3-4 weeks ago. That's a lot. It's more like 2 weeks ago because 2 weeks ago is when I made the decision to actually order order. What did I order? I ordered business cards. Yes. So I ordered business cards. Very cute business cards. I actually ended up using a lot of them, surprisingly. I have business cards, and I ordered approximately 200 of them. Those business cards came in, and then they were crooked. They were out of alignment, and they were not my fault for doing that. So I had to send them to the distributor, that being Canva. Shout out to Canva for honestly having a abundance of cards and prints and designs available. I love Canva. I love them just as much as maybe actually more than Adobe Express. A lot of the stuff I have as assets I created in Canva. So I really like their service. It was very lovely. They were very helpful. They printed out stuff very quickly again and resent it to me after they realized, hey, this thing that is misaligned, that is absolutely our fault. You should get another 200 business cards. So I got another 200 business cards for free. And I wouldn't have been able to get those business cards, all 400 of them, half crooked, half not crooked, if it wasn't for you guys. Chat. I used some of the money that, like, to be frank, I used some of the money that people have given me free subscriptions to fund business cards because I told myself, unless it wasn't stream related, I was not gonna use your guys' money once I got a job. I didn't really make a big, like, announcement of it, but it was something I, like, thought of mentally because in the latter half of 2024, I was mostly using a lot of subscription money to pay bills because I literally could not pay my bills without your guys' help. So yes, Rex, chat power, so true. Chat power. I'm putting my fist in the air, even though you can't see it. And also, congrats on passing your degree. Real nonchalant right now, except you really shouldn't be. That's a huge achievement. Getting your degree is kind of a big deal. Also, that was fast. Has it really been that long since you started your last semester and then you passed it? That's crazy. Oh my god. It's June, you guys. It's June. It's been a year and 11 months since I first debuted. We're about to hit my 2-year debut. Isn't that wild? I've been doing this thing for almost 2 years now. I thought Nari was crying, and I'm like, wait, no. That's a child crying. Actual robotic engineer right now, I feel important. You should feel important. You are important. Was it fast? 6 months went by really fast, y'all. I thought it went really fast. I don't know about you, but I thought it went really fast. And FKAI was just as fast. Bring me back, please. I miss it. I really feel like I did not have enough time to hang out with people and hang out with friends. And like I just, I want to do it all over again. Like I'm already ready for next year. FKAI is, I'm like trying to think about it because I actually can, to be honest, I do have some laments about the convention. Because I felt that from a attendee standpoint, and I think as a VTuber who showed up in person, trying to get to know people. There wasn't really a central location, unlike last year, for folks to meet up in. I think that's the part that was really unfortunate about Offkai this year, is that as a society, Offkai cannot commit to a singular location for people to meet up in. Because what used to be the atrium in their previous venue was no longer an atrium. Like, there technically wasn't an atrium in the new Offkai location, which is the San Jose Convention Center. The atrium as a term comes from the fact that the previous venue actually had a location called an atrium. Most convention centers typically don't have an atrium, so to speak. So it was very hard, I think, for Offkai to translate that into their new venue. And because of that, socially, as a society, Offkai cannot commit to, like, here's the central location for people to meet up and, like, be whatever they want to be in. So that was my first lament, because it meant that unless I ran into somebody just happenstance, walking around the convention, I really actively tried to reach out to them. It was really hard to run into some folks. And that's not, like, the person's fault for that, or I think it's entirely on the convention for that, because there wasn't really a central location for people to meet. And the only other central location that folks could have met at was at the park across the convention center. But from what I heard, not a lot of stuff was happening until really late, and by then I was asleep, you know? I was like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. So they really could have used another open space. I'm guessing that's, like, as Zhao was saying, like, the game room for Fanime as a meetup spot. Yeah, I guess, like, there's a whole nother hall that they didn't use. There's actually a lot of space they didn't use from that convention center. There was a lot of empty space that, like, people just kind of sat around in, which is fine. That's fine, but, like, I think they could have utilized a lot more space, way better than what they chose to do with. And I understand if it's because Offkai is like, we can't be a one-to-one with the other anime convention that happens to use that same building. Because there was an anime convention, I think that was Fanime, that's Fanime, that occurred a couple weeks ago. They have a different setup, and I'm guessing Offkai just didn't want to copy it, even though it's not like conventions have a monopoly on their setups. Maybe they do, I don't know. I'm not a con ops person. The most I've done is volunteer for, like, smaller conventions, or I've boofed for people in the past. I've never actually, like, worked logistically on a convention. So maybe Fanime does have their own copyright to their building layout. I don't know. But Offkai really could have emulated a number of things that, you know, another convention was already doing in the same venue. But also, I think the issue with that is, you can't really recreate something like Atrium unless you host it in that same location, I think. Something about Atrium at Offkai last year was a lot different because it allowed for, honestly, I'm gonna be real, it's because you can drink alcohol freely there and people could get drunk. Like, you can't do that in a convention center. Like, it's literally illegal to, you know, be public drinking and, like, in that manner. So there was no way Offkai would have let that slide. Hell, I feel like the way they set up the fourth floor was precarious in itself. And that's where my next point goes to. The party floor being lit, yes, but also no one showers. No one's showering on that floor. No one showered. Offkai has some of the best and worst things about a convention, which is the best thing is everybody is bright-eyed and bushy-browed because it's a new convention with new experiences, so everybody's very excited for it. What Offkai also comes with is a lot of bright-eyed, bushy-browed folks who are new to conventions. People who are new to conventions have a lot to learn. The first being, you smell way more than you think you do. You cannot get away with what I hope is with some folks like daily, like once a day shower and once a day deodorant, like hygienic practice. I don't know. That's like the bare minimum. But with the way Offkai set up their party floor this year in the Marriott, which is a surprisingly small hotel in width and length, but not height. It's a tall hotel, I noticed. But it's not very, its floors are not very long. There's maybe like, I want to say 20 rooms in total on that floor that were occupied by people partying, drinking, running around. And each of those rooms are maybe like 200 square feet. Maybe smaller than that. Yeah, so you had an abundance of the Super Smash Mouth treatment because these were a lot of folks who were touching grass for the first time in ages. So I didn't think about how much they smelled. And also, well, no, there actually really wasn't that much of like cultural boundaries with people at conventions. Although there was this one person who, while I was talking to a friend who happened to be dressed up as a industry VTuber, by the way, she's dressed up as an industry VTuber. I'm not. I'm just in cute clothes. These are my day 2 clothes, by the way, on my social. You can, let me share the Offkai thread, by the way. While we're talking about it, you can see stuff I wore, which I actually probably should just share in the OT outfit of the day stuff, so you can kind of get to see like what did I wear exactly at Offkai. Blah, 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 blah. So on day 2, while I was talking to literally somebody cosplaying as an industry VTuber, some rando decides to come up with their camera into my face and ask me, what am I cosplaying? Like, who am I cosplaying? When, I'm literally just, like, standing there trying to talk to my friend. And I'm, like, quite uncomfortable with it because I'm not expecting, like, this immediate question, first of all. Not even a single greeting. They're just like, who are you cosplaying? And I'm just like, what do you mean, who am I cosplaying? I'm not cosplaying anybody. They're like, are you a VTuber? Like, cosplaying a VTuber, I think was the question. And it's like, no, I'm just dressed, is how I respond. I respond literally saying, no, I'm dressed because public nudity is illegal. Because it is. And also because I'm not dressed as a VTuber. I just happen to be dressed nice because it's a convention and I really wanted to be dressed nice. Also, I'm wearing compression socks. I'm wearing compression socks and knee-high socks. Because I'm like... So I still notice, like, this guy still has his phone in my face. And I'm just like, hey, I didn't consent to an interview. At some point, he says this is an interview, too, which I'm like, I don't even care about at this point. My storytelling's really shit. I still say, hey, I didn't consent to that. Delete that. Well, okay, he like, goes away, but then I tell him before he leaves, I'm like, you need to delete that, because I didn't consent at all. And, like, just a couple feet away from me, he deletes it. And that was probably the only uncomfortable experience I had at Offkai um with somebody. That happened like day two, so honestly, it went by so fast that I kind of forgot it had happened. But that was probably the most quote unquote negative experience I had at Offkai. Um, it was a little annoying to experience that. Wow, hi, can't believe you just hate me. Hi, Golden. I mean, hi. It's okay. You can put out the Google Doc. I get it, Golden. You're valid. I was already mentioning it though earlier how really difficult it was to meet up with people at Offkai. Lo and behold, somebody who's somebody who I couldn't run into at Offkai. It's already on Twitter. Okay, bet. I can't wait to go viral. um, yeah, it's really hard to meet up with folks and hang out with some folks for Offkai. Um, so I don't know. I'm like kind of trying to think of like what's a good way I can like prevent that in the future, and I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna think on it because it would be nice to meet up with people. Like you can only plan so much before people at the end of the day, it's up to the individual if they want to hang out with you or not. Relationships go a two-way street. They're a two-way street. So this it's and like I'm not always gonna be everybody's first priority. As like fabulous as I am, I'm not always gonna be someone's first priority, and I don't take that like personally. I used to, when I was like way younger, and like had zero friends, but I have more friends now, so I have way more confidence in myself. Yee. But I mean, if they want to hang, they will try to find you, right? Yeah. Like, I met somebody for a second before they ran away to the restroom, and I only found out who they were after the con. Like, yeah, it's hard meeting up with folks. At conventions. It's hard meeting up with people outside of conventions in general. Just trying to hang out with friends, it's difficult. Um, oh, you have duty on FF by Rex. I hope whatever duty you're doing goes well. Have fun. Um, yeah, that's why I was kind of thinking like, yeah, there's nothing really central at Offkai to allow people to like meet up and hang out, which was really unfortunate and disappointing in my personal opinion. Because last year there was a little bit more opportunity to meet up with people at Atrium, and this year's Atrium was like the fucking basement. By the way, have I posted my merch haul? To be honest, I did not buy much at Offkai. I was talking about this with a couple of folks over the course of the last like few days, and I think I sit in the boat of I don't really like buying that much merch of VTubers because I feel awkward about it. Um, it's similar to the way I feel about celebrities, like IRL real life celebrities, like I guess like someone like Lady Gaga or Beyonce. Like I don't really have any inclination to purchase things that feature them because I'm like that's a person, that's weird. Like why am I gonna take their and like likeness like that? And so to be honest, the only quote unquote merch I got at Offkai was either free or the only purchases I made were for a Gigi Marine charm. I rolled for that. It was a gotcha, so I rolled like 3 times for it, and then I got a pity and got her in the last moment. So that's the only VTuber alongside Suisei. Actually, I will buy Suisei merch. So Suisei and Gigi merch, I'll purchase. I like their merch a lot because I like them as content creators and artists. But even then, I don't think I'm that parasocial. I find it really awkward to even consider being parasocial. Probably because I don't really like the idea of being too parasocial to begin with. Um, So all I did was buy that, and then I bought some advanced GG powder because they had a deal where if you bought two, you got one free, and I got a free mug out of it, free cup. So I'm pretty happy about that. So I enjoyed those two things as my two merch purchases. That was about it. So I spent like probably $90 on merch. Cause yeah, probably like somewhere around 90 to 100. Not a whole ton, but considering how much I wailed, a ton. Wait, was it 90? It's probably like 90. Like between the advanced GG drinks, like powder, and then the fact that I had the whale, I think like I whaled 3 times. So that's like what? 25 plus 10, 35? Yeah, so probably somewhere around like 90 to 100 is what I spent at con, which is not that bad. I've spent more at conventions. But yeah, Golden, you get that. You get it. Cool. For just throwing it out there, I feel cringe from seeing games having a VTuber as a character. What games have that? I haven't played enough games to see that then. Um but I don't know. I I think it's because as a VTuber, you at the end of the day recognize you're a person, and then with other VTubers, I recognize the fact that I'm like, these are all just people at the end of the day. So it's and like I've never really had celebrity crushes either, so I was like, okay, parasocialism, it's lacking. If anything, as much as I'm chronically online, I'm much more interested in just admiring 2D characters who aren't real. So there is no parasocialism that you had with that. You just kind of enjoy the characters you like with that. Golden, you bought keychain charms and a Xenoblade themed bag. Ooh, nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, I don't think I really bought. I didn't really buy much to be honest with y'all. Um, but what I did really like about Offkai was how creative things were. I liked how charged the energy felt at Offkai. I think it's the nice thing about like being talking with other VTubers when they are willing to talk with you, or you're able to talk with them about their streaming experience and how they like how what they do with their streaming platform versus how I like to use my streaming platform. Like, and also just talking about like the industry in general because surprisingly I think like what a lot of people get to forget about like Twitter while you're online because Twitter I think is the main source of VTuber like online conversations. I guess discourse is definitely the right word. Um, I never really have ever enjoyed the way VTuber Twitter algorithm tends to set itself up because there tends to be a lot of negative content. What I found with a lot of VTubers I met at Off Kaido is that most of those folks don't even post anything like that. Most of those folks are kind of just staying in their lane, doing their own thing, and rarely engaging in discourse unless it happens to involve themselves. In which, even then, I don't even think they considered it like discourse on themselves. It's more so that they're addressing a situation that has occurred that would like affected them in a negative manner. Um, so it was nice to know that like there were a lot of people at Offkai who were just like, oh, I stay in my lane. I just stay in my lane and I do my own thing. Cause I don't know. I feel that sometimes you look at Twitter algo, VTuber Twitter, and you're just like, should I be posting more? That's my thought process, by the way, that we're talking about. I think sometimes I'm like, I don't post enough, and it's like, well, maybe it's okay that I don't post enough. Maybe it's actually for the better that I don't post so much because some people are a little bit too open about themselves and their livelihoods online, and I've never really been a huge enjoyer of that. It's also why I stay off of YouTube or Twitter in that sense, because um, as much as I like to air out my own grievances, um, I'm not airing out things that, at least I hope for you guys as chat, like when I air out grievances, I would say most of them aren't that mentally taxing. Um, I'd say 99% of the time they're not that mentally taxing. They're just more like I'm a complainer. I'm a whiner. I'm somebody who likes to bitch, but at the end of the day, it's really not that big of a deal. There's people on Twitter I see sometimes who's like tweets are actually like very mentally like heavy. And I've experienced that in other social media platforms too. And like I only have so many spoons, you guys. I have only so many spoons, and especially between like two jobs, this this is the least amount of spoons I've ever had to me. I don't got time for you literally sharing about your next like trauma dump on Twitter for real. Yes, it is fine to complain every once in a while, but do not force the weight of what you're dealing with onto others. Like, that's what, and granted, not everyone can afford this, but that's what therapy's for. And if you can't afford therapy, that's what journaling's for. Yeah. So it was nice to see that, like, for the most part, people who I followed, that I met at Offkai, a lot of their content was very much content, you know? Like, it wasn't just complaints on their lack of content, or if it was, or a constant complaint about the environment around them that was preventing them from, succeeding, which, like, if you're gonna complain that much, you have time to maybe, better yourself instead. Um, so that was nice about Offkai. And because of that, I think it got me very inspired to want to continue doing things and just try to strive for a better Offkai next year. Yeah, the convention did make it really difficult to meet people and run into people. But now that I know that like that's how it's set up, like I can instead use the next year to consider how I can instead find ways to meet up with people, and hang out with them maybe a little bit more and spend more time with them, because is something I really would like to do. And yeah, I would love to run into you next year, Golden. I didn't even know, like, there's a lot of folks who I didn't even know were at Offkai. I didn't even know they were going until after the event had passed. So, or like Golden, like, literally, I didn't know you were there until the last day. And I was like, there's so many folks who I just didn't know were at Offkai at all to begin with. And I think some of that maybe is because, like, I'm just not chronically online. I'm like checking on VTuber Twitter, or maybe I really haven't been on Discord that much, to be honest. Like, when you catch me, it's not for a very long time. Um, and so I really would like to spend a little bit more time being able to hang with people and find people. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a meet and greet next year. Who knows? On Sunday, you went to KBBQ and met about 10 people for the first time. Yeah, that was a lot of Offkai, honestly. But you didn't advertise. Oh, okay. You didn't advertise it. Well, that's understandable. Um, some people I think did, and I still didn't even notice, and I felt bad. Um, but I appreciated Offkai for what it offered, because it let me meet a lot of people that honestly I didn't even think I would get to meet. Um, I wasn't really trying to like find like specific content creators or anything to be like, I'm gonna find this person and like get their name and try to network with them. It's just more like, if I met you and we vibed and you were chill, let's be mutuals. Like, let's just see each other on each other's algorithms, if that's like the least like we can do. So yeah, that was off Kai for me. Um What else do I have to say about Offkai? Biggest highlights. Oh, yeah. Karaoke. I did karaoke twice. That was fun. I really like the karaoke system at Offkai. I don't know what they're using, but it's kind of nice. Unlike other conventions where I've been at, most conventions I have been at, you sign up for karaoke, and then they give you a general time to come back at, and then you hope for the best that they don't skip you. That's how karaoke works. Off-Kai karaoke was nice in the sense that we fortunately at Off-Kai actually had a website where you could see the queue in real time. So I could see what place my song was at. So that was really cool. They don't pause at all with the queue, by the way. Unlike other karaoke queues I've been to where they will stop the music entirely and then move on to the next person, which, does add to the wait. Off-Kai karaoke basically is like, go, 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 go. Play that song, play that song, play that song. Like, the songs just keep going and going and going. So as the last person pretty much gets off the mic, you kind of have to get on the mic. I enjoyed myself with that. I'm still going to have to go through material of Off-Kai, so maybe I'll try to share, like, quick clips of what I did at Off-Kai karaoke. But Fruit, you don't think you'd vibe that much with me IRL? I mean, we wouldn't know until we tried. That's kind of all I can say to that, Some people, they vibe really well online, and then there's no chemistry in person. Some people vibe really well in person, but then there's no chemistry once it goes to the online space. But I don't know. It just wouldn't know until that meet and greet happened. So we'll see. But Golden, you didn't go to karaoke at all. You almost went, but you didn't. Damn, that's rough. I went on Friday and Saturday because I'm stubborn like that. Also, this year kind of was just like every convention I go to, I'm gonna try to sing karaoke in some capacity. So Off-Kai sang karaoke, Anime Expo, I'm gonna try to sing karaoke. I just like. Y'all already know. I just like doing that. I just really like doing that. So that was one highlight of Off-Kai. Also another highlight. Shout out to the folks who hosted the slumber party room, the chill room. That's where I spent a lot of my time when I was at the 4th floor. Because it was nice to like talk and network with some folks here and there. But like for the most part, I was like, it's actually easiest to network in, of course, the quietest room, to absolutely no one's surprise. So that was a very lovely room space. Rex, you're going to sleep. Have a good night. You finished your duty already? Dang, that was fast. But yes, go to bed. It's 6 a.m. The sun's coming up for you. And congrats again on getting your degree. Stream will probably go for like another hour. Not the longest stream, but again, we're just kind of talking. Maybe I'll switch over to Marvel in a second. By maybe, I mean I probably will. Thanks a lot, of course. And so, Off-Kai, it was also great to spend time with people. The few minutes I got with some folks were really great. And get rest. You sound like you need it. Okay, I will try. I will try to go to bed early today. I say try because I tend not to go to bed early. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna end stream in like the next hour because like most of the time I don't end stream in like 2 hours. That's usually never how it works. But we'll make sure to end stream in like the next hour or so. Yeah, Off-Kai. I'm like, do I have anything else to say about it? It's like, well, it just went by so fast. It doesn't even feel like it happened, to be honest. That's how short it was for me. go back. Take me back. Take me back. Fun though. It was very fun. I think it's because it was fun that it's sad, no park. There wasn't really much one. Yeah, I didn't really experience one. I think it's just because the way the parties go, they go until midnight. And then it takes a while for people to shut them down. So I think that really prevented people from actually doing ParkCon properly. Even though I think ParkCon probably could have done better in the actual park. Not ParkCon. Party 4. Party 4. My bad. I'm EP. Maybe I am EP. Maybe I am tired. Maybe I am. Which is kind of crazy. I slept in more today. I slept more today than I did other days. But, you know, sometimes it just be like that. Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on. Let's get into some rivals. Offkai was good. I think there's just a lot of parts that, like, honestly, they're not coming to memory right now. Um, and some things I still can't. I want to talk about, but I'm also like, I don't think I can talk about yet. Because, like, oh, these are technically part of plans for later down the line this year. Um, Also, I don't want to, like, voice some stuff that I'm like, if I say it now, I don't think it's going to come true. Um, it's really silly to say that, but, like, that's how I feel. Collab incoming. Um, Collabs incoming for 2-year anniversary. Yes, I need to finalize on a date, and I am trying to figure that out. So please stay tuned because my actual debut date is on a weekday this year, and unfortunately, I don't think I'll actually be able to stream on that day. Because it's a weekday that I might actually be working. And won't have like energy for. Like I wanna for this year's 2-year anniversary, I wanna have it be a long one. Like I want this to be like the longest stream I've ever done. So please stay tuned on what that's gonna look like because I'm excited for it. I really want to make sure it goes well, and once I finalize on a date, it will. It really will. So stay tuned on that. And we're gonna move on to some rivals whenever the game decides it wants to show the fuck up. I don't know why Rivals doesn't want to show up on my screen right now. Dude, like, show up. It doesn't want to show the fuck up. What the fuck? Oh, that's why. Okay, I need to exit out of OBS real quick. We'll be right back. I guess I didn't start up OBS as administrator, which I usually do. Hopefully it doesn't accidentally cause stream to like end or something. I don't think it did. Okay, that's why it wasn't working. That's literally why. I may need to like end stream real quick and then restart it. So